Hiya, I'm Jen Meredith. I am a self-employed digital marketer, copywriter, and social media manager. So luckily, there are no qualifications really needed for this job. You can take courses, you can take workshops that get you certifications if you want to expand your knowledge, or if you want to show prospective clients that you have the knowledge that is needed to take on the work. But it is not mandatory. So in terms of skills, you're going to need a good writing ability, especially if you want to be a copywriter. You'll need creativity. If you want to go into marketing, there are a lot of marketers out there. They're all doing similar things, so you want to stand out from the crowd with your creativity. And if you're self-employed, you will need to be self-motivated. So every day you need to get up out of bed, open your laptop and start work. And there is no one who's going to be standing there telling you have to be at your desk until 5 p.m. You're going to do that for yourself. So an interesting fun fact about me is that I love animals, and one day, probably far in the future, I'd like to semi-retire from this career, and I'd like to actually run my own animal sanctuary and care for animals. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because you don't have to just follow one career path, or you don't have to just want one thing for your life. And also your career path can be fluid. And your life can be fluid, and that is okay. So I went to what was Deben, it's now Felixstowe Academy. I didn't 100% enjoy the school experience or the curriculum, but I did enjoy learning. And that's why I went on to do a bachelor's degree in English, and why I would quite like to do a master's degree one day. At A-level, I did very creative subjects. I did photography, art, music, drama, and English language. So I did 5 A-levels because I actually took one of these early. And I do wish that I had done maths or another core subject, because it would have increased my chances of getting into a better university. So in terms of picking the subjects that you want to do, pick subjects that you enjoy, pick ones that you have a passion for, and of course choose ones that you're good at. I had lots of teachers that I really enjoyed learning from. One was my maths teacher, Mr. Warren, because he was just very, very good at taking really complex topics that I just would not understand if they were just written down in a book, and he would take them apart and explain them in a way that I could really understand, and that is why I loved maths. I really enjoyed it at school because of this teacher and how he explained things. The other teacher that I liked was my music teacher, Mr. Wren. He was just very laid back, would let people's creativity really come through, and he used to take charge in a lot of the music performances that I was in, so I formed a really good relationship with him through that. So when I left school, I went straight to uni. I wanted to be a journalist, and I did become one before I was self-employed. And for that, I needed a bachelor's degree in English. So I acquired that, and then I went straight into journalism. I was also doing quite a lot of writing for publications freelance while I was at uni to kind of build up my experience before I went full time. If I could have gone back, I probably would have taken a year out to go travelling, just because travelling is something that I'm very passionate about. So things I love most about what I do now is that because I'm self-employed, I work on my own terms. I decide how much I'm going to work, how long I'm going to work. Sometimes I do get classed as a bit of a workaholic because I do love putting in the hours, but that is completely up to me, and that is what is great about what I do. Also with my work, because I can work anywhere with a Wi-Fi signal as long as I have a laptop or a phone, I can travel around the world, and I can kind of be on holiday while I'm working. So I've done that before actually. I've stayed in hostels in Australia, and I've been traveling while I've been working. So that's kind of filled in where I couldn't go for a gap year. So third thing that I really love about my job is that I can help people grow their businesses. So business is something that I'm really passionate about. One day I will start my own business, and while I'm doing this, I'm learning all about how people run businesses and what goes into them. So it is great experience for what I plan to do later in life. In terms of progression in my role, because I'm self-employed, it was really as much progression as I choose. So in terms of the advice that I'd give my younger self, there's definitely a lot of life advice that I'd give my younger self. But in terms of work, it would be to specialize in something. Don't try and be all things to all people, because you can't please everyone. But also the important thing about specializing is that you become an expert in a particular topic, and experts are highly sought after, and their knowledge can earn them triple or quadruple their salaries if they become a consultant. So for example, if you want to go into marketing, you could specialize in, say, digital marketing for fashion brands, and then you would become the expert in that field. The most valuable learning experience during my career has been going from full-time employment to being self-employed, learning how much freedom comes with that, but also responsibility. And that has led me to understand how motivated I actually am. And it has taught me more about my work capabilities. So I hope this has given you some kind of valuable insight about the world of work. I wish you the best of luck with your education and with your chosen career path.